Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today, it's back into the big one, Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our play-by-email challenge against one devilish Mr. Lodrick, and it is now March 15th, 1942. This is going to be the combat resolution for March 15th and March 16th. Last turn didn't go so well. I was a little salty about it. No pun intended with the Pacific Ocean. But I was kind of disappointed. And in some ways, I've been a little disappointed with how this game has gone. Lodrick is a very good player. There is no doubt about that. I'm a little rusty playing against humans. I think that there, maybe a bit of complacency sets in when you play the AI too much. And also, I have never played 2-day turns, and the way his carriers move around. Uh, I mean, they're hot rodding around the Pacific. So, it's all about adjustments. We're going to keep plugging along here. We're going to come back and win this game. But we got to get to doing. Talk is cheap out in the Pacific, as they say. March 15th, March 16th. Let's check it out. Let's see what Lodrick had in store for us this time, or what we had in store for him. Hopefully, trying to think if there's any place, really in particular. South of Suva, his carrier group, I'll call them the Pacific Carrier Group because he's run them as two different groups, one over in the Indian Ocean and then one over in the Pacific Ocean. And the Pacific group is just south of Suva, which is really a very important point. Kind of as the allied player, you can't really lose Suva. That especially in a game like this where we've lost a lot of cargo ships and that have added up, and tankers. We lost a lot of tankers last turn, even. When you've lost that many cargo and tanker ships, you can't then lose Suva as well. I think maybe you could get away with it if you just hadn't. Oh, okay, we're merging out there near some Japanese subs. Anytime I see that red little sub symbol pop up, it makes me clench. But if you're not losing a whole lot of ships, I guess there's a possibility. But Suva's worth almost 1,000 points, and I think with the number we've lost here, if we were to lose Suva, we almost certainly would not get past the first checkpoint on January 1st, 1943. But we are going to throw the kitchen sink out there. So hopefully we can hold that off. I've already got a lot there. As I said, coming up on the March 25th turn, I'm going through every single unit on the map. So if you want to know what I've got where, you'll get to figure it out on that one. Up until then, I'll continue to do. Okay, so we've got a task force out here. Looks like he's got a couple of battleships out here at the Andaman Islands. This is Port Blair. So he likes to do this. He likes to take these surface fleets, a couple of battleships, looks like 6 destroyers, and raid these ports. And sometimes he catches things, sometimes he doesn't. Now I'm only running little AKLs out here, right? So these are 1 point transport ships. If they go down, well, I mean, I'd rather they not, but that's 2 points. So not a huge deal. But he raids the port at Port Blair. Okay, and now he's raiding the port at Rangoon. Again, I'm only sending 1 point ships in there. These are just run of the mill, one or two. Well, there might be a couple of 2 pointers in there. But we did have a KV there. I was sending KVs. Now, that's a 6 point ship. So I was sending KVs along with them to Rangoon. Now, look, the combat payout here would have to be huge because, he's got complete control of the seas. We can fight him a little bit in the air out by Rangoon, but you've got to keep trying to pump supply into Rangoon as much as you can. So hey, we take that. I think all told we end up losing maybe 11 points, maybe 12. So, it's not nearly as bad. And here he's going to raid Calcutta. This time I think he's just going to get a little HDML. So again, if you're a Japanese player, you want to learn how to play the Japanese side, do this. I mean, it's super frustrating from the Allied side. Again, we lose 12 or 13 points. I don't know. We'll see when we do our setup phase after this. But it keeps us from, getting that supply into Rangoon and keeps us playing scared. I'm trying not to play scared, but he's caught us out numerous times, and that will certainly cause you to pull back, not be as aggressive maybe as usual. Now we pulled back in port. Some of these task forces got back in there. They're again those small, cargo, and it looks like float fighters down there south of New Zealand. Now that could be super dangerous. Yeah, that if he's down south of New Zealand, we're gonna have to do quite a bit of rerouting. We definitely have things down there. We have things coming through Auckland. We have things coming through Wellington, so we'll have to check that out. Now, these are all of our recon planes over the top, whether doing naval search or recon. Sometimes I just call them, kind of the generic recon, but most of these are actually on the naval search function. You can see there, I think you saw his carriers floating, yeah, right there, floating back past Suva, and now he's going to go try to bomb Suva. But we've got some Airacobras here. We looked at that during the setup phase, and it looks like, I don't know, he only ended up getting 7 over the target. So we at least, we destroyed a few probably, and we made others bug out. Um, 1-0 destroyed, 3 Airacobras destroyed. Well, that's going to be about your ratio because the Airacobra is not very good at, really above 15,000 feet. Zeros, he's bringing them in. Interesting. Okay, he brought these in at 8,000 feet. Now, I find that surprising. I'm sure what he's trying to do is lure our cap up. And he's, when he's going at 8,000 feet, that means the bombers, that's usually their altitude. He's probably doing escort, and the Zeros just got there first. Uh, but 8,000 feet, I'm a little surprised. So he brings 18 more Zeros, 5 Airacobras up in the air here. See what kind of result we get. One more Airacobra destroyed. So it's 1-4 right now. One Japanese loss, 4 total Airacobra loss. 3-1, 4-1. That's about what you're going to get with those, with the pilots we have, the aircraft we're talking about. 10 Oscars over Henyang there. And now look, now we're sending out. Let's see. Hold on, 2 zeros here. We've got 14 Airacobras. Now, I'm pretty sure this is us running. Yeah, it is. It's us running a bombing mission because I did have some planes here on naval attack, and we made it through. Now, he used up some of his zeros. Oh, please, for the love of Tampa St. Pete, hit that carrier. Ah, we missed it. We missed it. Oh, if this just would have been 6 months later, we would have gotten ourselves a carrier there. We got the Vincents right over the top of it, and it was the carrier too. Holy crap! Oh, from 5,000 feet too. I mean, hell, you could throw the bombs out the side doors from 5,000 feet. Well, okay. We lose 2 Airacobras. We were all over the Shikaku. A full carrier, too. It's not even like a light carrier or something. Naval attack, 1,000-pound bomb. If that sucker would have hit, you would have seen sparks all over the ocean. Okay, well, moving on. We miss a carrier. We've missed 2 or 3 battleships. Again, all you can do. I was being a little hard on myself at the start of the episode. I mean, I think we've actually done all right. I mean, we've done fine. It's just not, when you play the AI, you can get a little lackadaisical because you can beat up on the AI once you really know what you're doing. Sally's, Ann's, Lily's. One Sally was damaged. We took 275 casualties on the ground as we're trying to, break out east of Yan'an here. Now he's coming in southeastern China stack. We've been kind of at a, old west standstill there forever in that same hex. We damage a couple planes. We take 22 casualties on the ground. All right, he's going to bomb that group again in southeastern China. 4 casualties on the ground. And then yet again. because Lodric never likes to just hit a unit once. Now, luckily, we're in the heavy rain there, so no losses. That's why his bombing wasn't quite effective. It's going to not certainly not every time, but the vast majority of time is going to be less effective in heavy rain. And we've also got heavy rain down here, so 5 Tojos come in over the top. So that was just a sweep. He wasn't bombing, not with fighters anyway. Changsha, he's going to do a sweep over Changsha. We still have no cap really at all in China. Okay, he's hitting here east of Yan'an again. What's new? He loves to hit those guys. 30 casualties on the ground. Now we're seeing he's coming to do is coming in here to support at Rangoon. He's probably bringing his carrier group there. 27 Sonya's in just west of Nanchang. We damage one Sonya. We take 85 casualties on the ground. I doubt there's a torpedo bomber over I Chang, but that's what our people on the ground are telling us. That's why I don't always believe them. 12 Lilies, again, west of Nanchang here. All right. 27 casualties reported by the Allies on the ground. Oh, I was going to say, is he going to hit them again? Gosh darn it. Hey, it's our Seagulls. Now, these guys have been, so far in this war, they have been our superstars. They've hit a few ships out here. Now, see, I jinxed them. 3 Seagulls go out. We try to hit an AK that's coming in here, as part of this task force. We do not hit it. Unfortunately, we were dropping two 250-pound bombs from 6,000 feet, and of course our bombardiers missed because that's what they're good at doing this early on. Now look, we got more naval attack out here. Unfortunately, he got a few zeros up, but we've got 4 B-26 Marauders, 4 B-25C Mitchells. If all he can get is, yep, we got them both over the target. What's the target? Well, we're about to, yeah, oh, come on. I'm just gonna, oh, did our Mitchells bug out? It looks like they did, and the Marauders just stuck around. Are we going to damage this thing? Yeah, we're down to 3 Marauders, so the flak is hitting. We're approaching the target area. Planes approaching from overhead, attacking the Japanese carrier. We had another one destroyed by flak, another one destroyed by flak, damaged by flak. You get up over these things, and oh wow, look at this. Oh, we had 2 carriers in our midst. Um, 2 B-25s damaged, one destroyed by flak. 2 B-26s damaged, one destroyed by flak. So we lose 2 planes. 2 will have to be repaired. We had 2 carriers here. We miss with 12 total bombs. We got off 6 500-pound bombs from the Marauders and 6 500-pound bombs from the Mitchells. Oh, God. It's just killing me. It's killing me. Well, here comes more Marauders. This is working out well, having these naval attack craft, out at Suva, which you should do, right? And we even got Cobras to escort them this time. And it looks like we got by that zero screen. So he used his zeros, came over. We've got him in our sights again. Now let's check out what happened here. Did we get a hit? 3 Marauders damaged, one destroyed by flak. Okay, we'll take that. Did we get in? No, and we had all 4 carriers in our sights. We dropped 12 bombs again and totally whiffed. Boy, this could have been a hell of a turn. We could have knocked out a couple of carriers. 6 months from now, with the aircraft and most importantly, obviously, the pilots we've got at that point would have been trained up enough because you just don't have good naval attack pilots early on. You got a few, and I think I have most of my best ones out at Suva. The ones that aren't on carriers, you put your best one on the carriers, but the next best ones you should put at Suva, in my opinion, anyway. Um, Okay, we're doing some more sightings, so I'll just keep on talking. But at this early, it's such a crapshoot. We probably had like a 10 to 15% chance of hitting one. That doesn't even mean we'd sink it. I'm just saying damaging one. Uh, through 24 bombs or so. So I'm saying, we would have had to roll like a 0 to 5 out of a 0 to 100 die, but we had about 24 shots to do that. That's just me guessing. I don't know that for certain. But man, we had our chance. We had him set up. That's all you can do. You put him in the position. I always say, lead the horse to water. Can't make him drink. 20 Bettys, 24 Nels coming in just north of Port Moresby. 47 casualties. These guys are not long for the world. They've got nowhere to go. They're out here in the middle of a swamp with no supplies. Hey, we're going for it again. Who, whoever the air commanders are here are gutsy, and I like it. Come on, baby. Come on. Five Airacobras on the escort. Looks like a few of those got ripped up, but we end up getting 11 bombers out over the top. Come on, Soryu. Three Vincents attacking Japanese, one Vincent damaged by flak. We're dropping. We missed. You can tell. You'll be able to tell if we hit it. We're coming from astern. We're one damaged by flak. B-26 Marauders approaching from ahead. That's how crazy this game is. One's damaged by flak. Now we're coming from astern. Destroyed by flak. Damaged by flak. I think we missed again. Well, I think we missed everything. Vincent's 2 damage, Marauders 4 damage, Marauder 1 destroy. Okay, so we only lost 2 planes permanently, but no hits again. My goodness, I can't believe he came this close in to the coast. I mean, this could have just been really something. We drop 8 more bombs, 6 500 pounders, and 2,000 pounders, 1,000 pounders. But a miss. Oh, we're coming back for seconds. Come on, Mitchells. 10 Airacobras, 3 Mitchells. Now, see, he just, because he ran sweeps over first, he doesn't have enough. They haven't come back to the deck and recycled back out. And so we're just getting free runs at these things. Post air attack combat. One Mitchell destroyed, one Airacobra destroyed. No hit on the Zakaku. Nope. Now here comes his bombing runs. This is just a heavyweight fight back and forth. 180 bombers, 18 zeros coming along with them. We've got Airacobras, but now they're exhausted, right? This is just going back and forth. Wow, we've got a lot of flack here at Suva. Um, Okay, what happened here? Kate's 2 destroyed, 14 damage. Kate's 1 destroyed by flak. Val's 1 destroyed, 9. We damaged 23 planes there. We had Airacobras 1 destroyed, 2 damage. That's good return there because you can tell what's hit by flak and what was done by our planes. We destroyed 3 planes and only lost 1 Airacobra, but he did hit our runways. So airbase hits 6, airbase supply hits 1, runway hits 20, and port hits 1. Well, that's pretty important, right? But I've also got a lot of engineers here, so we can repair that. Certainly we can repair that, but we just can't take him doing that turn after turn. But I think we're going to scare him off here because he's gotten very, very fortunate not to have gotten a carrier disabled out here. You're not probably going to just sink it on the first go, but if you damage it enough and it's got to limp back, who knows? Seagulls, here come our seagulls. And yes, that's what you want to see. Deck, and I said that DECK, penetration. And that is on fire. The AK. Whoa, that looked like we got a secondary explosion. 3 seagulls in on the AK Yamabiko Maru. Bomb hits 2, heavy fires. That's almost certain to go down. He's already taken 20 casualties, but when you see heavy fires like that, that's almost 98% of those are going to go down. Finally, Hey, well, that's, I mean, other than our bombardiers at Suva can't hit the broadside of a barn, I mean, remember we're shooting those down, shooting them. We're dropping those down on carriers, so that's not like a small target. But when it's out bouncing around in the middle of the ocean, it looks like it, I'm sure. 18 Bettys in on this group in the swamp by Port Moresby. We damaged a plane. Those guys, I hate to even look. I feel like I let those guys down, if I'm being honest. So it kind of gives me a twinge when I see them pop up. Wow, what a turn this has been so far. That like I said, heavyweight fight at Suva, and there's going to be many many more in this game because that's kind of our dividing line. Um, and it's going to be that way in the South Pacific. I mean, because I'm going to fight to the death for that one. Um, you know, Nomaya, I mean, Nomaya, Pago, we will as well, but really Suva's where the big points are. Okay, we're getting attacked west of Yan'an. No surprise there. He's got, shit, I don't even know, 2,117 AV, including 58,000 troops, 446 guns. So this is another super army. If he combines it with this super army up here, uh, and, parlance, we're screwed. 1728 on the cat. Okay, we fought him to a standstill here. 1728 for the Japanese, 1843 for the Allies. That's one of the better results we've had in China so far, certainly. Out here, just bombardment. He's seems very content to just keep bombarding these guys. Okay, I mean he's got a division out here. We have two corps and the headquarters of those corps. Now, of course, Chinese corps are they're a little bit bigger than divisions, normal divisions, but the way the Chinese nomenclature goes, the corps, it's not like it's a full corps as we think of in Western armies, certainly. They captured Maroc out here, which is just northwest of Batavia. It's the doorstep of Batavia. All right, let's see that. See how many casualties. He took 24, we took 163. I think we only had a base force there. Yeah. Well, I could go back up and look, but it doesn't really matter now. So he's coming for Batavia. He's already in Surabaya, and now we're at the end. That was the end of the land attack phase. Gosh darn it! Give me one carrier. Just give me one, please. That would really start to turn this game around. And again, I'm not like mad. I'm just, we've got our planes in the right spot. It's just a matter of, I don't want to say luck. It's just a matter of chance, really, at this point. Who knows? Maybe they've only got a 2% chance just given their skill level. We'll go look at their skill level during the setup next time on those Mitchells and Marauders. And again, they're not dropping torpedoes, which hurts too. I mean, they're not torpedo bombers; they're dropping bombs, and it's much harder. The torpedoes usually are going to have a higher hit rate because they get down into the water. Um, instead of trying to drop something on something's head. So did that make sense? You know what I mean? If you're dropping bombs and you're trying to hit this object bouncing around in the ocean, it's going to be a lot harder than if you drop something in the water and then all of a sudden it starts to speed towards that target. Um, so those are bombers out there. All right, you saw we got some of those Kitty Hawks in at Perth, if you were watching, and we're now at March 16th, it's a brand new day. Let's go. I've got positive thoughts. Will they help? I'm going to be talking about those carrier misses for the next like 3 episodes. I'm just preparing you. We're retreating from surface combat. Um, it looks like, yep, we have this KV, the Auricula, is out here looking for Japanese subs, obviously. Now, luckily, they missed both of these surface fleets, or I say the KV did, but now we're in on a sub, and let's see, we're firing. Well, shoot, we got some depth charges down. And he's a 4 anti-sub, so he's not great, but he's a little less than average, but he's not terrible either, the KVs. But no, don't hit anything, unfortunately. Now you can see our task forces are trying to, gosh darn it. Japanese sub in on an AK. It looks like he got into it. The Empire Grenfell, torpedo hits one, heavy fires, heavy damage. So we're going to lose the Grenfell. Now, see, his surface fleet, we've got another surface fleet trying to get into Rangoon. Did you see all of the action around there? Does not look promising for that unit, that task force to get into Rangoon. Yeah, there goes the Empire Grenfell. Now, I had escort with that. Again, it's a game of chance. You put the things where they should be, and sometimes it works, and sometimes the subs slip through. So we've lost an AK. It seems kind of unfair that at this turn we would have lost. He's lost a ship. We hit that AK with our seagulls in the Philippines. We've now lost a ship, the Empire Grenfell. I also think there was another ship that was in bad shape, but I think that was from a previous turn. I saw off the coast of Australia, the eastern coast, something's flotation was not doing well. But honestly, I was too busy talking at the time. Oh, okay. Well, these are little AKs. Oh, that's right. We lost about 13 points of AKs out here on the port raids. These are more AKs. I think that is the Auricula that we just saw before. So that's a KV. That again, that's a 6-point ship. So that's about 8 points altogether. Those are just immediately sunk. They run into two battleships. Those guys, hopefully they said their prayers and sent a letter home before they left port. Okay, we're spotting some ships. Okay, we're seeing a lot of ships coming around the bend out by Colombo again. So his carriers must be out by Colombo. Now, we haven't positively sighted them yet. We said we. Okay. We're getting a lot of phantom sightings like Haiva Oa, Pearl Harbor, whatnot. Okay, he's now moved away, which is probably smart, right? He could be a little bit out of range for I don't know. The Marauders, I think, can get out to an 11, so they would. I mean, he would be within range of that. But he's sending the zeros over the top first. We got 6 Airacobras up. I mean, that's just usually not going to work out well for us. He gets 11 over the target for the sweep because they're not all destroyed or something. Some of them just bug out. They get in air-to-air combat. They're getting low on fuel, etc. I mean, he's a good what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 or 11 hexes away there. We destroy 1-0 and 2 Airacobras get destroyed. So I think those battles out there now are what, like 6-2, just straight up air-to-air battles. Airacobras up again against zeros. He gets 12 over target out of 13 there. And we had 1 Airacobra destroyed, so 7-2. Now we did just absolutely devastate his bomber. I say devastate. A lot of them got damaged. A lot of those bombers got damaged when they tried to come over Suva. Now he did do a little damage to the airport. Okay, or airfield. Bombing east of Yan'an. 54 forward 6. Okay, one damage plane, 87 casualties. Now, that group, I'm just kind of thinking of it as a sacrificial lamb. I'm trying to get out there and cut his rail. He's bombing into southeastern China. Of course, he is. Two damaged planes, 14 casualties. All right. Southeastern China again. Nothing happening there. It's moderate rain out here. He is bombing this group anyway from 7,000 feet. So he must be testing out different. We see him at 6,000 sometimes, 7,000, 8,000. Vast majority have been at 8,000. Maybe he's just lowering down in a place where he knows there's no cap. Wu Chao. He's out and sweeping at Wu Chao at 16,000 feet. He finds nothing. 20 sallies east of Yan'an. 11 casualties on the ground in light cloudy weather. 30 anns. Okay. No Japanese losses. 6 casualties on the ground. 23 lilies on that group. Boy, these guys, whew, talk about shell shock. But no losses on the ground there. Again, it's light cloudy weather, so that must be a new bombing group of his that he's trying to train up. All right, 18 Anns east of Yan'an. Again, 11 casualties this time. Give me another run at those carriers. I mean, we should. He did this exact same thing happened last or yesterday, right? You know, part of this turn, but yesterday, where he swept over first. Hey, look at our seagulls. All right, come on, boys. Man, I love these guys out here. I'm going to give them some medals. They've given us a bit of hope. The New York Times has run cover stories on these three seagull pilots out here, but this time they miss again. Maybe their luck's running out a little bit. Two 250-pound bombs at 6,000 feet. I'm going to go find out what their names are this next turn. So remember, we want to look at the skills of the guys at Suva, but I want to go look at those seagull pilots because man, oh man, they've been brave. Probably going to end up in a prisoner of war camp, but they've been brave. All right, reporting some ships. Now the thing is because this is WeGo, you know, his task forces are always moving, and during the turn. So his carriers might be a little out of range for our bombers, at least the one of the two squadrons. I can't remember Mitchell's or Marauders. 19 Bettys into the swamp at Moresby. 31 casualties reported there. And again, just easy target practice here. It's a clear sky out by Port Moresby, even in the swamp next to it. 41 casualties. 23 Nels in on that same group. Yeah, he's just training up bombardiers now. 77 more casualties. 12 Sonias. 16 casualties. Sonia's in this group that finally got out of southeastern China. Well, they're still kind of in southeastern China, but they got across the river anyway. 6 casualties. What is that, the Yangtze? Come on, seagulls! My guys! Okay. Got an AK in their sights. Look at this plane. I think that plane looks awesome. Ah, they missed again. Well, they're not getting shot down. I mean, there's no anti-aircraft, obviously, on this cargo ship. But he doesn't seem to have any air power here. The Norfolk Maru does not get hit. We had a Catalina destroyed by Cap right there. I think that was out here in the Philippines. We've got a few Catalinas that are still there. Got some air squadrons combining, sub squadrons combining back into their main squadron. All right, he's landed some more troops here in the Philippines as he's finally going to try to take the rest of Mindanao. He's been sitting in Cagayan forever, so he's had to bring more troops. Our troops did a good job there. We've held him up a little bit in the Philippines. I mean, like I said, he hasn't taken all of it yet, and here we are in the middle of March. Land move attack phase, so we're not going to get another run at those carriers, at least not this turn, unfortunately. So he hits us again here west of Yan'an. Last time we held in there, it's 260 to 231 on the adjusted values. Now he's attacking us in really bad terrain. And if you see the modifiers, terrain, we get a plus for that. Experience negative, supply negative. He also gets a supply negative. He takes 563 casualties. Whoa, much worse result. We take 2679 this time. So last time we fought him pretty even up. This time we go, what, 5 to 1 on the well, 4.5 to 1 or so on the casualties. I'll be damned. Bombardment attack here in southeastern China. He seems content just doing that every time. Dang, dang, dang. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get another crack. That goes to show you when you are, working with your carriers, you want them to be on the move, right? You just don't want to, you know, like the hex where you want to bomb from, let's say if you're going to bomb Suva, you want it to kind of go through there. You don't want it to just sit there and stop. With carriers, you want them on the move, right? And so you put in the bombing orders and whatnot, and then you move them past that island. Let's say 6 hexes away. Let's say your bombers have a range of 6. You bring it up to about 6 away from there, or 5, and then you start moving east or west, across the face of it. Let them fly out and bomb, but you keep your carriers on the move, and that way they don't get stuck in one location where it's very easy, in our case for if we were running our carriers for the Japanese to then on multiple turns get to bomb us. As it is, he moved past us, and now we only got one shot at it. And now you're seeing everything arrive, so that means we are at the end of the turn. Man, I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. If you're not, you don't love war games. No, I kid. But seriously, this game's had it all. A lot of action. This time we see carriers off of Suva bombing the island airfields. We did take some damage. We'll have to go look at that. You saw multiple American runs at Japanese carriers with naval attack bombers to no avail, unfortunately. So we got no joy, but it was fun to watch. Anyway, this has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. When we come back next time, it'll be March 17th. We'll go look at all the stuff I talked about this time, do a big grand overview, look at the stats, etc. Till next time, Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.